In the last 100 years, Earth's climate has undergone some drastic changes. The average temperature is increasing at a very fast pace. Scientists believe that it's the human activity that is pushing the temperatures up. Hello friends, you are watching Wise Vibe and we are going to talk about global warming. So let's get into the video. Before proceeding to the video, let us first learn about the greenhouse effect. When the radiation from the sun reaches the earth, some of it gets absorbed by the earth and the rest is reflected back into the space. A small amount of the reflected radiation is absorbed by the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. The absorbed radiation is then sent back to the earth in the form of infrared radiation, and this process is called greenhouse effect. It is the greenhouse effect that maintains the average temperature of the earth at 15 degrees Celsius. Without this effect, Earth's temperature would be minus 18 degrees Celsius. Since the Industrial Revolution, the amount of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide has increased in the Earth's atmosphere. Due to the increase in the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, the greenhouse effect has also increased, which has made the Earth a lot warmer. This warming of the Earth is known as global warming. The consequences of global warming have started showing up. The number of floods, droughts, storms, and wildfires is increasing every year. Due to global warming, glaciers are melting at a very fast pace. The melting glacier water is going into the sea, due to which the sea level is rising. Wildfires, droughts, and floods have become more common nowadays. Due to this, the health of humans is being affected badly. Carbon dioxide is considered the most responsible gas for global warming because it carries out 75% of the greenhouse effect. If we talk about the global CO2 emissions, we find out that China is on the top with 28% of the global emissions, the USA on the second with 15%, and the European Union on the third with 10% of the global emissions. The top three countries combined are responsible for more than 50% of the global CO2 emissions. Proceeding to this list, India and Russia are on the 4th and 5th position with 7 and 5% of global emissions respectively. The top 10 countries combined are responsible for the 75% of global CO2 emissions. In this chart you can see the contribution of each sector in CO2 emissions. By the way, water vapor is the largest contributor to the Earth's greenhouse effect, but we cannot directly control the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. Let me tell you that the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere depends on the temperature. Increase in the temperature also increases the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere, which in turn increases the greenhouse effect. In simple words, greenhouse gases increase the temperature of the earth, which increases the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere, and the increased water vapor carries out more greenhouse effect, which ultimately increases the global warming. Increasing global warming has become a huge threat to the world. We all have to stand together and fight. Burning of fossil fuels like coal and petroleum is the biggest contributor to global warming. We all have to cut down carbon emissions to save our planet.